One of the biggest things that I get asked by viewers, readers, clients, when they're still in the relationship with a narcissist and when they're out of the relationship and they're still dealing with a narcissist because of a child or a divorce or whatever, people ask me, how do I deal with the gaslighting? What's the best thing I can do? Well, of course, there are lots of different ways you can do that. And today at queenbeing.com, Kim Saeed and I are going to tell you about one way that you might not have thought of. So let's get started. My name's Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going. I've talked about this before, but when you're going through gaslighting, it feels as though you're going crazy. If you don't know what gaslighting is, it's a manipulation tactic that narcissists use against you. I'm not going to go into all that during this video, but I will leave a link for you about gaslighting above. With that being said, today Kim and I are going to talk about how you can change gaslighting. Now, again, I've discussed this before a little bit, but it's always interesting to hear new perspectives. Like I've said a bazillion times, like I wrote in my blog back in 2006, it's all about making the right choice, pun intended. What does that mean? Well, you put your pen to paper or your fingers to the keyboard and you kind of just let it all out. The problem is actually plaguing you, bothering you. Sometimes just putting it out on paper will actually help you to kind of work through it, at least enough to understand it and move forward. Plus, if you're actively dealing with gaslighting from a narcissist, chances are they're trying to confuse your reality. So if you journal, you'll have a much better chance of actually keeping a grip on reality. You'll have a written record of what happened in your life. For me personally, journaling, writing, all of these things, blogging even, these have been my go-to personal development tools. I like to call it free therapy. Anytime you can take the time to put down your thoughts on paper or even on a computer screen, although personally for journaling, I really like the handwritten on paper. If you can do that, I think it's more therapeutic. But I've also had plenty of success with blogging therapy. So when I call it therapy. For example, back when I lost 100 pounds, I did that by blogging through this site that used to exist called Buddy Slim. And so a bunch of people were on the site, they were blogging, and they were going around and reading and commenting on other people's blogs. And that helped with community, but it also helped with staying focused and working out our issues as to why we were struggling with our weight at the time. So the same thing applies to narcissistic abuse recovery. Let me let you hear what Kim said about that. I find this so fascinating that we had such a similar journey in this area. So I thought maybe it would help you too. Take a listen.
I personally started a journal. And the reason I started one to begin with was because I wanted to be a writer. You know, that was my big dream for myself, was to publish a book. But I wanted to write fiction. And I'd actually joined a writer's group and had some very good stories and had gotten positive feedback. But unfortunately, and that's one of the things that writers do, is they journal all the time. But I found myself journaling about my experiences in my relationship and then in my marriage, so that I could go back and say, this happened on this day and this happened, and you know, I got the silent treatment for 2 weeks. So it's really important to write these things down, because once we start forming PTSD responses, trauma responses and triggers, we literally do block out a lot of these episodes of abuse. So it's really important to start journaling, whether you write it down in a book or do it online. Just start documenting.
I totally agree. Yeah. In fact, I have a course all around that. I totally agree.
Good. That's great.
Yeah. That's how I literally saved my own life, I think, was journaling and then later blogging about it without even knowing what I was doing at first. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to link out to some other videos for you in the description below about journaling and blogging and things like that. And if you want to go to queenbeing.com and search the term, you'll see plenty of good stuff there as well. For now, though, I'm going to ask you the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you blog? Do you journal? How do you work through that stuff? Let me know what you think, what your experiences are, what your thoughts are about that, and whether or not you do that in the comment section below. And let's talk about that. One last thing, check out the link in the description below for my journaling course over at Life Makeover Academy that includes printable journals. That's all I've got for you today. As always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.
It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body. Take care of your soul. Nurture the real you and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot. Take it now. And the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.